going on YouTube? This is Aaron here with Day 5 Aquatics. Just bringing you an update video of my red Ceibal tank. Quite a bit going on in this tank. I just haven't been able to do a video in a while because at this point in time of year, pretty busy at work. But anyways, these next couple weeks should be a little less so hopefully I'll be able to put out a few more videos here in the upcoming weeks, just kind of keeping you guys updated. Anyways, as you can see here, my red Ceibal cichlids have successfully spawned. In fact, this particular batch of fry have been free swimming for about 3 weeks now and are still doing really good. This was the third time that they had spawned. The first time they just went ahead and ate the eggs. The second time a couple of them made it free swimming, but then it didn't last more than a few days, and so this one was finally successful. Like I said, these guys have been free swimming for about 3 weeks now. So I did have to move the other 2 red Ceibal cichlids that I had. I did have to move them to my other tank so they could heal. Once these guys, once the fry got free swimming, the parents got pretty violent. One of them lost its tail completely, so they're in my other 75-gallon tank healing up. I'm probably just going to wait until they're in better shape, and then I'm just going to sell them off or give them away. But I'm definitely not going to try and put them back in this tank. Anyways, also you'll notice, talking along the lines of just aggression, you'll notice that the giant Danios are kind of up in a corner by themselves. They've had kind of a rough time from this. The red Ceibal cichlids, especially after I took the other 2 out, the parents have really gone after them quite a bit, so they kind of stay in the opposite corner of wherever the parents and the fry are at. For the most part, they've been too fast for them, and there hasn't been any real damage except for on one of them. It hit the lid of the glass and was trying to jump, and it stunned it, and they got a hold of its tail and ripped off about 1/4 of its tail. Plus it's got a nasty injury. It's kind of got a deformity now from hitting the glass. It's been about a week like that, and it seems like it's going to make it, but it's just kind of swimming a little funky. But for the most part, they've been too fast for them, and they've been alright. The parents have been moving the fry all around the tank. They haven't been just sticking to one corner. Right now they're in the back of the tank because they made the mistake of cleaning off the front of the glass, using Windex and paper towel on the front of the glass to kind of clean it off, and it kind of scared them back into a corner. Normally they're kind of out and about, but they're just kind of hiding because of that. There's about 30 fry back there. It's really hard to tell, but I counted yesterday and I got somewhere around 30, maybe a few more than that. It's kind of hard to tell because they're so small and they're constantly moving, but I started out with about 80, maybe not quite 80 or so, and so it's down to about 30 after about 3 weeks. But it's been a while since I've really noticed any losses. I kind of lost, most of the ones I lost within about the first week or so, and that was when the giant Danios were really going after them. But now that the number's a little bit smaller, it's easier for the parents to keep an eye on them, and the giant Danios are kind of corralled into a corner anyways. But they've been moving them around the tank quite a bit. You'll notice on the bottom of the tank there's a ton of debris. What had happened was I've dirted partial portions of this tank, especially like the back corners and then the middle in the back area. I've dirted that, and they've been digging quite a bit, especially when the eggs were still hadn't hatched yet. They've been digging quite a bit, and so there's quite a bit of debris all over the place. And I just haven't really tried to do a deep cleaning just because I don't want to accidentally vacuum up some of the fry. I've tried to keep the front of it clean as best as I can, just because it's easier to tell, make sure that there's no baby fish swimming around up there. But there's quite a bit of debris, especially in the back of the tank. Also, you might notice that there's some new plants. If you've watched some of my previous videos, you notice there's some new plants up front. I did end up taking out, I had 2 sword plants up in the front, in the middle. I ended up taking those out just because they weren't growing very well. This isn't a highlight tank by any means, and so I replaced those with some crypts. I have a couple crypt spiralis, which are the taller ones in the back, and then in front of those I planted some green Wendetti crypts, because they do well in the low light and they like the dirted substrate, so that provided they don't get dug up, they should do pretty well in this tank. And so far they've done alright. They're still in the process of acclimating to the tank. They're doing some melting still, but starting to get some new leaves and stuff on them, so they'll do pretty well. But anyways, back to the red Ceibal cichlids. Just really like their color. The parent's color is awesome. It's incredible. I mean, you'll notice it looks kind of like a gold color with the black bars. Normally they have kind of a tan color to them, like a light brown, and then the bars on their body is just a little bit darker brown, and it's kind of subdued. And then when they get in the spawning mode, especially after the eggs hatch, they darken up quite a bit more. But I mean, they get that gold and that black, and it really makes the red in their eyes pop out. And then the color in their tails, the blue and the red in the tails, and the tail and the dorsal fin look really cool as well. So just really like the color on these guys. These are awesome. And I'm enjoying raising up the fry. This is the first time I've had any fry. You'll notice there's a lot of, looks like a lot of micro bubbles or dust in the tank or whatever. That's the food that I was feeding the fry. That's the Hikari First Bites. They've been on that since they hatched, and doing pretty well on that. But this is the first time I've really raised any, bred any fish or raised any fish up. So hopefully they'll do well. Like I said, 3 weeks, provided there's no unforeseen complications in the future. I think this will be a successful batch. Hopefully at least get a dozen or two out of this spawn. So I'm just really enjoying it. I've already got a few people interested in buying them. I'm not really gonna try and make a ton of money off of them, but I am gonna try and sell them off once they get big enough, maybe somewhere around 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. Try and sell them off. But anyways, just really excited about how this is going. Really excited. This is the first, like I said, it's the first time I've successfully bred any fish. So just enjoying this, and hopefully I'll be able to get you some more videos as time goes on in the next couple weeks and things aren't quite so busy for me. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll try to keep you updated. Have a great week.